Today, we have a breaking news story coming out of France that has sparked widespread unrest and protests. In this video, we will be discussing the recent events surrounding the shooting of a teenager by the police, the ensuing riots, and the government's response. Let's get started. Last night, violent protests erupted across France for the second consecutive night after a 17-year-old boy was shot and killed by the police in the Paris suburb of Nanterre. The news spread quickly, and protesters took to the streets, setting cars and buildings on fire in a CTS of rage and frustration. Transition. News footage of French Interior Minister Gérald Darmanin's statement. French Interior Minister Gérald Darmanin took to Twitter to condemn the violence, describing it as unbearable. He revealed that 150 people were arrested throughout the country, and numerous police stations, schools, and town halls were either set on fire or attacked. In response to the escalating situation, Minister Darmanin announced during a press conference that 40,000 law enforcement officers would be deployed nationwide, with 5,000 of them assigned to the capital and its inner suburbs. The goal is to prevent further violence and restore order. Although tensions were highest in the Paris region, the protests spread to other cities such as Lille, Rennes, and Toulouse. This widespread unrest highlights the anger and frustration felt by many across the country. French President Emmanuel Macron labeled the violence as unjustifiable. The previous night's disturbances were concentrated in Nanterre, where the tragic shooting occurred. 31 people were arrested, 25 police officers were injured, and 40 cars were burned. In response, the Interior Minister authorized the deployment of over 2,000 additional law enforcement officers to maintain order. During a press conference, the Nanterre prosecutor provided more details on the incident. The officer involved in the shooting did not meet the requirements to discharge his weapon and has been detained on suspicion of manslaughter. An investigation is ongoing. The victim has been identified as 17-year-old Naël M. Lawyers representing his family plan to file complaints against the officer who fired the fatal shot and another officer present at the scene. Naël's mother has called for a march in Nanterre today, and nationwide protests are expected to take place. President Macron and Interior Minister Darmanin have both called for calm as authorities investigate the tragic death of the teenager. A crisis meeting was held, and all cabinet ministers have been asked to cancel their upcoming engagements. That concludes our coverage of the recent events in France. The situation remains tense as the nation grapples with the aftermath of the shooting and the subsequent protests. We will continue to follow this story closely and provide updates as they unfold. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more news and updates.